Hey guys, Eddie Hall here, UK's strongest man, Britain's strongest man, the only man in history to lift half a ton. Nice to see you all. Lad Bible here today, going to follow me around for a bit of a session, training chest today. Everything's on point, I'm feeling good for the upcoming comps. We've got Britain's strongest man a week on Saturday, we've got world's strongest man, rumoured to be April, May, June this year. So yeah, training's on point. I'm currently sitting at 30.5 stone body weight. So I mean, as you can see, I'm pretty bulky like. So yeah, we'll get stuck in anyway. We're training at the Strength Asylum gym in Stoke-on-Trent. It's a really nice shithole. That's all I can say. Training partner Luke Fulbrook, he's training for the Britain's strongest man as well. So today I always pyramid up with my training sessions, so I'll start off nice and light, get heavier but reduce the reps. So as you see, 1 plate, 8 reps, I'll put a plate on, do 7, 6 reps, another plate on, drop the, just pyramid up basically. That's how my training's always gone. I very rarely hit PBs, I might do one today for you guys. But yeah, it's all about being consistent. Usually hit about 90% of my max for, I don't know, 4 or 5, 6 reps. And that's what it's all about, just every week, just coming in, maintaining the power and getting bigger and stronger every time. As you can see, I'm using a lot longer bar than normal. This is an 8-foot Olympic bar. And the reason for that is I like to, I mean, I know that I'm wearing the sleeves today, but I like to make training as hard as possible for yourself. So an 8-foot long bar makes it a lot more unstable. So you're building the core muscles, you're building the core and the elbow, the chest, the shoulders. Makes training a bit harder. And the reason I'm wearing the sleeves is because I've got a competition in 2 weeks, so I don't want any niggles, I don't want any fuck ups, no mistakes. Usually put a mouthpiece in when I start getting heavier, and that's a lot of science behind that. And I bet you guys have heard of a guy called Furious Pete. He's like the guy that can eat more than anybody, and he designed this. It's basically a mouthpiece that stabilizes your whole body, your whole core, and it does make a difference. I think it's worth getting one. Shameless plug here. I always use my own BCAAs between sessions, mix it with fruit juice. BCAAs during training is very important, get the muscles repaired straight away, get the nutrients back in. Bench press isn't really much of an exercise used in strongman, but I think it's a great carryover to a lot of exercises overhead, such as log press and axle press. And I'm a good believer that if you're a good all-round sort of powerlifting athlete, you know, if you're good at squat, deadlifts and bench, it gives you a great base going into strongman. So if you've got all those three figures up, you know, with some of the best in the world, I think it's fair to say you could probably move into strongman very easily. So it's important to get the basics up if you want to move into strongman. So at the minute we've got, with the bar, 185 kilo. The bar is 25 kilo because it's obviously a bit longer. Almost as much as I weigh, almost. This, boys and girls, is a car buffer, right, used to polish cars. But believe it or not, this is the best thing in the world for getting blood into the muscles, warming the muscles up, preventing any little tears, because it's already warm, it's got the blood there. Stuff like this, yeah, it's cheesy, but at the end of the day, I'm a professional athlete and I can't afford any mistakes, any little tears, hiccups, so this is why I do stuff like this. Very important. So I've already done my stretching, my mobility, and I've already done my warming up, you know, all my rotor cuffs and everything. And this is just in between sets. Keep yourself warm, keep the blood in there. Very important. Your girlfriend, Jordan? Is it? She knows she's a girlfriend. She knows she's going out. No, no? Still warming up at this. playing the fucking hard man, eh? Hey, because your girlfriend's here, mate.
Oh, don't get upset now. Oh. Look at that face. Come on, babe. Don't be like that.
See you, Bruce.
Love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Love your girlfriend more.
Is there any questions?
Yeah, so what inspired you to get into strongman in the first place?
When I finished, well, let me start. When I got expelled from high school, everyone else was at school doing their GCSEs. I'm not proud of that, by the way. But I went away and I had a lot of time on my hands, so I lifted weights. And very, very quickly, you know, by the time I was 16, I was 16 stone of pure muscle. Just put on weight so easily. And then by the time I was 19, I was like the strongest man in the area by a good margin. And that's when I realised, I've got a potential here and I've got to do something with it. So I entered my first strongman contest at 19. Became fifth out of like 14 guys and went from there. I think 5 years later, it was at World's Strongest Man. I won UK Strongest Man at 23 years old. You know, the youngest man ever to win the UK's at 23. So, just very gifted. I think I've just had not genetically, but just in like run up in life. And before I was doing this, in my teenage years, I was a national champion swimmer. Winning gold medals at the nationals it's a hard feat, and swimming is one of the hardest sports out there. So people got to bear in mind that I had a fantastic head start, not only fitness but frame. When I was 13 years old, I was 13 stone, probably about 5% body fat. So it's just and most guys don't achieve that, until they like trained for 10 years in a gym. So I was just very, very blessed with my upbringing. Really, I've got a very supportive mum and dad that sort of gave me everything. Everyone else would be having sausage and chips for tea, and I'd have steak and chips. My mum and dad were very on the dot. They saw me as a professional athlete from a very young age, and that's it. Really, I've got a fantastic head start in this sport. Been very lucky. So we're now on 225 kilos, still warming up. Come on, have you got a towel, mate? Somebody put a rag or something to put on the bench. Come on. Just one of those shit silent tops.
No, Nick's not really good, but Nick's being normal, you're just straight hard. That's the best. So. I love when you call these cute little nicknames. Just because you're a fucking marrow.
Other than deadlift, what's your favourite strongman event?
I don't know. I quite like some of the really bodyweight strength events, like the truck pull. You know, something where sort of technique almost doesn't come into it. It is just about who is the heaviest, strongest man. You know, lean forward and give it 100%. They're my kind of events. And of course, anything sort of on one spot, static. You know, log press, axle. Obviously deadlifting, I'm alright at that. The worst events are like, you know, sort of all the very technical stuff, keg toss, running with a yoke on your back. You know, I think these for me don't determine who the strongest man on the planet is. These for me determine who's got the most spare time to sort of go in the back garden and throw a keg over a bar for, you know, an hour every day or whatever. I'll say there's some events out there that just don't make sense to me, but there's other events that, yeah, good test of strength, mobility, athleticism.
A lot of people asking about what you're drinking there. So
yeah, so this is just like normal cranberry juice. And obviously I mix it with Protein Dynamics, BCAAs. And that's just like the cranberry juice for me is just like a antioxidant, just keeps the lactic acid flushed. And obviously it's a grapefruit juice. So it's, I mean, like a litre of cranberry juice on its own is about 500 calories, and then put me carb powder in, it takes up to 1,000, you know. So it's a good fast acting carb drink for the training session. Stick another plate on, yeah.
Plus we've got thrush as well.
Yeah, it's great for cystitis as well, yeah.
So how much are you lifting now then?
So I've got on the bar now 265 kilo, which I think is 15 kilo more than the British bench record. So we'll go for a few reps on this. The beauty of my sport is there's no fakeness, you know, there's no like opinion as to who's the best. It's not like bodybuilding where you get 10 guys on stage and you get 4 arsehole judges that say he looks better than him. Strongman is who can lift the most weight, who can run the fastest with half a ton on the back. There's just no cheating, you know, there's no bullshit. And if you win, you win. There's no one to say you're not stronger than him. Like, well, fuck you, I've got the gold trophy, I am stronger than him. You know, and that's what I love about the sport. And it's that title, it's the world's strongest man. It's the most alpha male title out there. Who wouldn't want to be the world's strongest man? If you say you don't want to be the world's strongest man, you're full of shit, you're lying. it is the alpha male. It's the alpha male title. Usain Bolt, fastest man on the planet. It's great. It's a good title. I don't want that. I want to be the strongest man on the planet. Oh! What? Oh. Oh. That's easy enough.
So just for people who are just tuning in now, how much was that?
That's 265 kilo. I said the bar weight's 5 kilo more than people think. I think the British record's 250. So I think it's fair to say I could have smashed that. I say that, I'm not making excuses, but I've had a shit day of eating. You know, I've done a photo shoot this morning, so it's not ideal. So that's all right. I mean, my PB, another plate aside, 300 kilos, probably my PB at the minute. But I definitely think with a few months sort of on technique work, and specialising on the bench. Pretty sure I could take the world record bench press. So I think it's 335 kilo at the minute. I'm not saying it'd be easy by any means, but I think 6 months of head down, targeting it, I think I could definitely get it. So we'll move on now. I bet you guys have had enough, but we'll move on now and do exactly the same again on incline bench press, and I'll repeat the exact same weights for pretty much the exact same reps. I'm as strong as incline as I am flat bench. So, has anyone got any more questions before I go?
One of them was Mark Henry went into the WWE. Would you ever consider a move after you're kind of done with the strongman thing?
Geez. I mean, obviously I've got the size and I think I've got the character to do that. But in all honesty, I think my number one goal at this present time is to win the world's strongest man. Nothing else matters. I've turned loads of film roles down. Loads of opportunities. I've just turned them down. I don't care. I don't want to be mega famous and make my money in the movies. I can do that after. At this present time, I want to be the world's strongest man, and I've dedicated my life to it, and that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Cool. And just any tips that you'd give to anyone who wants to kind of like follow the same sort of career path as you?
The same what?
Same sort of career path, like into strongman.
I mean, the best tip that you can get from me, guys, is anyone starting out is just basically don't overtrain. It's so easy for people to come in. I think the number one mistake I see in the gym is people overtraining. They'll come in and they'll do exactly what I've just done, sort of bench up to 90% of the max, and then they'll come back down the pyramid and do, 100 reps at 50%, 5 sets of 10 or something. And it's completely wrong. That's when you rip the muscle too much. You end up going backwards. If there's one thing I've learned over 11 years of lifting weights, it's not when to walk away. Like now, that's flat bench done. I'll go and do my incline bench. So that's the number one tip. Just don't overtrain. Eat plenty of protein. Sleep 10 hours a night. It's not an overnight thing. It's took me 11 years to put sort of a good 14 stone on. It's a very slow process, but it does work. Consistency is key, I think. Just keep at it. I dare say I haven't missed a training session. I haven't missed a meal in 11 years. If I have, I make up for it. So it's all about dedication.
All right, cool. Any last kind of like goodbyes you want to say, or any message you've got to anyone?
No, man. Thumbs up to the Lad Bible. Give it a follow. Thanks a lot for coming up today, and thanks for you guys for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Fucking awesome. I hope you come again, and we'll do another training session, deadlift session next time. I'll show you fuckers how to deadlift properly.
Nice one. Cheers.